Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is my second model build. It is the Belkits model of the Opel Manta 400 Group B. The kit from Belkits is a small company based in West Utrecht, Belgium. Their main base is Domino Model Shop. It's a place I've actually visited and it's a brilliant little shop. Well, actually it's not little, it's got everything you could ever need. Anyway, thank you, and let's move on. So, we're into the body prep of the Manta 400. To start with, we took some Tamiya sanders and we scuffed up the body ready for the primer to stick to. After this, we mounted the body onto the Tamiya stands, got all the other parts set up on cocktail sticks with super glue, and we use, of all things, a catch scratch pad to keep them upright. We painted them mixed with a 50-50 mix of Mr. Leveling Thinner and Mr. Surfacer 1500. This was done with 3 coats using Tamiya Sparmax airbrush. This has a 5mm needle, and we're leaving that to cure overnight in a sealed box so dust doesn't get in. This didn't take too long to do, and it's quite easy, and using Mr. Surfacer 1500 it gives a nice smooth coating that will only need light sanding before we paint at a later date with Zero Colours TS Pure White. Where possible, afterwards we took all the other parts that didn't need undercoating as much as the body does, and we used paints called out in the instructions. Where possible, I used Tamiya lacquer paints. These were again mixed with Mr. Hobby Leveling Thinner, or as it's better called, Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner, and it always gives a very good, smooth, clear finish that doesn't need any sanding or preparation to make it look better. This was all done using a Ultimate Apex airbrush from Ultimate Modelling Products, and that's my current go-to airbrush for finer work. And Tamiya lacquer paints are readily available in the UK. Occasionally certain ones do become quite hard to get, like the semi-gloss black. So far, this Belkits model, I have to say, has impressed me. It really has. You look at the instructions and they look extremely complex. They look really, really complicated compared to Tamiya. But when you look closely, when you take your time and look, it's not that bad. The moulding is crisp. It is really, really good. The paint call-outs, you get your head around it, and it's a really, really, really good kit. I can see me doing this kit again with the markings for the late great Russell Brooks' Andrew's Heat Hire car that I had interesting because it was sponsored by a local company. And the other good thing about this kit is that it comes with parts in, so you can do the car in left or right hand drive. So if there is aftermarket decals available for a car that's in your area, you can do it with the steering wheel on the correct side for your area. Anyway, that's this part done. Next will be to paint the top colour and add decals, followed by the clear 2K coating. Onwards and upwards, my friends. Right, well, it seems that I hadn't done enough recording vocally, so this is an additional. Yep, I took time out before I started painting the body to mask up the clear parts. This I plastic found very, very complex, very hard to do. But I'd watched some videos online, and I bought some very, very fine tape from a company I believe is called Azu tapes. They come from 0.1 very, very fine through to 1mm, 2mm thick. I use those to mask out what I believe would be the outline of the rubber masks for the window. And then I infilled with normal Tanya tape, either 5-10mm thick, keeping within the lines of that tape, making sure to de-tack to make sure there's a good seal against the glass. Then obviously I was spraying the other parts. I decided to do the bits on the clear to basically replicate the rubber moulds on the windows that you get on a road car. Also those two black stripes of the glass down the side of the Manta. Those were also picked out, again by masking, sprayed on the inside. So basically now that's all done, and that's the bits on rally cars and road cars I really hate, but the Azure tapes really did help. They're quite expensive, quite hard to get, but they're worth getting. They do help big time, even if you have to order from outside your normal area. Do it. It's got to be done. It's worth paying the extra money to get the right kits, to get the job done right first time. That includes any tools, scalpels, paintbrushes. Best to pay the money once and get the good thing and keep spending money on poor items. Anyway, this should just about fill enough, and next will be the coating of the body in top coat of TS23 pure white, and painting the main body in Tamiya lacquer paints 2 using lacquer thinner with retarder. We'd already painted the body in Mr. Hobby Surfacer 1500. I'm currently using a micro mesh sander to just key in the paint to give a surface for the top coat to go on. I actually sprayed the body off the camera here, but yeah, it all went down well. I was originally going to use Zero Paint's Pure Brilliant White, which is normally one of my go-tos, but I fancied a change. In fact, my next model I've got to do a card that isn't white. I'm getting a bit sick of painting white. Off screen we've prepared all the other parts that have got to be painted in the body colour, like the front grille, the back bumpers, and they're all on cocktail sticks, and once they're done they are plugged into a catch scratching pad from Pets at Home. It's a bit of a cheat rather than going out and buying expensive hobby parts. They all get done off screen, and I also do the window surrounds, which replicate the rubber moulds that hold windows in on most road cars, as they do on rally cars. Anyway, so far this kit has really impressed me. I'm really enjoying building it. I would be a bit more advanced, but unfortunately there's been sickness in the family, and well, that can't be helped. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the build so far as much as I am building it, and I hope that this video finds you well, and we will soon be continuing with the next section. There's a catch scratch pad, and the body now it's painted white, and here is the windscreen painted and masked in black.
Pulling some weird shenanigans right now.
There we go.
Yes, so my
it's done.
You're on the app. So yeah,
decals away. Anyway,
I think what we're going to do
onwards, my friends.
looking at
Seeing the Belkits Opel Manta 400. We made a start with adding the decals after painting the body with Tamiya lacquer paint and Belkits kit. This being my first Belkits model, I was unsure of how the decals could be. Would they be like Tamiya, which is rather thick and quite easy to manhandle? First I went to attack the body with the large Opel Belkits badge, and it played absolute havoc. Unlike Tamiya decals, these seem to be rather thin and rather go where it's soft, but I've saved it with a lot of manipulation. But unfortunately, I damaged twice the outer circle. Anyway, I started to understand how they worked more and started next to the yellow, silver and black Opel motorsport strips as used on a lot of GM motorsport cars in Europe. Starting on the bonnet and the bootwood, I used Microset and Microsol from Microsol Industries to lay them down. So they laid down well, and at first looked wrinkled, but having seen how some of these decals work, I left them overnight and they've dried out and looked absolutely superb. I don't know who makes these decals for Belkits, but they really are very, very, very good. I then started on the advertising and number plates on the car, and they also laid down really well. Again, using Microset and Microsol. 5 minutes. They laid down a treat, and I left the kit to one side, expecting to come back to it the following morning. Unfortunately, rather than having the kit done in a few days, my mum was taken out with food poisoning. So, rather than getting the kit done, I had to turn my attentions elsewhere and become a bit of a nurse. Thankfully she's now a lot better. Still not 100%, but I lost 3 weeks. The bonus to this was that I was able to put the body to one side to dry. And in 3 weeks it dried perfectly. All the decals had sat down well, and they just looked perfect. Cannot fault the decals once you get your head around how they work. And everything was dry, and everything was starting to get back to normal. I could get out my spray booth and my normal airbrush, the little Apex 3mm, and start laying down some 2K clear to protect the decals. Previously I had used the Gravity spraying 2K clear, so I'd used on my last project, the McLaren MP44 Honda of out in Senna. So I had to go into my next set that I got, which was zero paints going into 2K system. I used lots of zero paints just like them. They do have a reputation for being rather hot, but so far I seem to get on very well with them, as long as you use them very sparsely. Sparsely. I'll learn to speak English with them. And just build the layers up gently. They don't seem to be too bad. But with the 2K, I did the same as I did on the Gravity paints. I started with one mist coat, just leave that, let it dry, then started building up the layers one by one by one. Third and final, getting progressively heavier on the layers until the last one was quite a heavy wet coat. But after 48 hours, it looks perfect. It's got a lovely shine. The next grade shows 2.5mm of paint, 1.2mm of primer, and 0.4mm of thinner. Also clear coated the wheels, now in a dust-proof box for the next 3 to 4 days. Right, we're nearing the end of the Manta 400 by Belkits build. This part, we start building the chassis. We stick on the rear tailpipe that leads to the mock lower engine block. I do apologise for that. It is 4 o'clock in the morning when recording this. We then build the front uprights. It's got the Bilstein shock absorbers in it. Then on from that, we then build the steering arms and the hub carriers. These are all very minute parts, but they are so perfectly moulded. I cannot fault the moulding by these Belkits. They're absolutely superb. They then bolt onto the subframe that we built earlier, so it becomes a hub carrier, like on a rail car, your front subframe. These will then bolt into the chassis at the front. I'd found this bit a bit tricky. Made a couple of little errors along the way, but I'll know better for the next kit I build by Belkits. They're so perfect that you could build it without using any glue. Anyway, next part, we bolted in the rear axle and the prop shaft from the engine and the gearbox. There's also a little cover on the chassis for holding the prop shaft in place. Then we started on the interior. There's the fire suppressants. It's actually a representation for a wheel brace. Obviously your brake, accelerator and clutch pedal, footrest. Just everything perfect on this model. Absolutely really, really fine detail. There's another fire extinguisher went in that goes fitted behind the driver. That's for the plumbed in fire extinguisher like in the real rally car. again, it's just the little details. Absolutely spot on. I love this kit. I really have. Really enjoyed building it. Then we fitted the steering wheel, the dashboard. This all went in. I had a few little problems here and there, but I think it was more down to me than the kit. I do have a tendency to rush things. I've got to teach myself to slow down a bit now if I want to hit the better finished details. I got the windows into the body. This helped the car look a hell of a lot more better. Side windows and the front and rear windows, they fit into little locating pins. Totally different to how you get on Tamiya and Hasegawa. And you just glue them in and make sure everything's in line, and just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, the amount of thought and design that's gone into this kit. Then back to the interior. Put all the kick plates in for the co-driver. The seats, seat belts. I used ribbon to represent the seat belts. Actually come in the kit, but I use my own. There's also a photo etch, so if you could go as detailed as you want to. I'm still learning my way around photo etch. It's still new to me. But I've got some in there. I've still got a lot to learn on that front. I'll be the first to admit it. There's times when I can be a bit caggy-handed, to use a Midland saying, which means a bit heavy-handed. But, yeah, it'll come. Then we mated everything together, and it went together perfectly. Absolutely spot on. You put the rear of the body onto the chassis, and there's locating points. It's just basically find a very little fine piece of metal, something like a metal ruler, and just gently pry out the parts. Get everything into the locating pins. And it's job done. Absolutely brilliant. Could not fault it in the slightest. Would I recommend this kit? Absolutely. It's been absolutely brilliant to build. It's been a breath of fresh air. Some kits can be overly complicated. Some can be simplified. Tamiya will always be the gold standard for people who have either been doing kits for a while or just wanting to go that level above Airfix. But I'll tell you what, this Belkits kit has really opened my eyes. I will be doing more Belkits models. I've got some in stock, and there's some I've got my eye on when I get my life back in order. Anyway, all I can say is thank you very much for watching. I'm getting tongue-tied again. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please press the thumbs up. And I would also be grateful if you subscribed. The more people who subscribe, the better it is for me, and eventually I'll be able to monetize my account. Anyway, once again, cheers. I hope you have a great day or weekend whenever you watch this video. Look after yourselves, stay healthy, and I'll be back with a new project as soon as possible. Cheers. Bye.